Okay, so I want to apologize that I haven't been on here in quite some time, but welcome back to Shuttersplaining. Um, I've had a lot of distractions lately. One of which is a Jeep project that I've been working on, and I did not do a whole lot of recording with video wise, but I'm gonna catch y'all up to speed on what I've done, and you'll understand why Norman hasn't been getting any attention lately. Um, Not sure if I'm gonna continue Norman, because I mean, y'all saw the struggle is real. The struggle is real. But I decided to put the cover on him and walk away for a while, and it's been about about 4 or 5 months, and I actually tried to give him to a friend, and they wanted him, but they never came in and picked him up. You know, one of those my lost your game things, because he rides too, and some things happen, so he's without a bike, and I'm like, you know what, you can figure out how to make it run, then you can have it. That was about 2 months ago. So yeah, so let me cut right to the chase, and let me introduce you to my 1992 Jeep Cherokee XJ, whom my husband so lovingly named Muskrat Lovin, but I call her Muskrat for short. So let me start from the beginning. Okay, so here is Muskrat. These are actually the photos that I looked at when deciding whether or not, I wanted to buy her before I got to see her in person. So she was outfitted with a brand new winch, nice steel bumper. He had put, I don't know if it was him or the previous owner, but the hood louvers are actually installed backwards. But they kind of look cool anyway. It appeared to be outfitted with a snorkel and your sideboards. Now it shows the fenders in these pictures, but actually when I went to go see her in person, they had only had like one fender on. All the others were taken off. So that was something that I had to consider, an expense. The headlights, as you can see, were kind of crappy. Also, it has the steel cable, which can be kind of deadly if it were to snap. These are just some pictures of underneath. He had put new shocks in and springs. That's what the inside looked like. I mean, it obviously is a 92. It's old, it's dirty. At first look, it didn't look like it had a whole lot of rust going on, but as you'll see later, I found out otherwise. But it was, I mean, it ran, it wasn't in bad shape. This is the hubby taking a look at it, doing, bumper to bumper, making a list for me. Okay, that was, what fluid was that? That was not transmission fluid. Okay, so that was power steering fluid. Basically the whole hose there had been split. Also, he took the thermostat out. He calls it a Bluetooth thermostat. But he took it out because it was overheating. Cherokees have a lot of, especially the older ones, issues with the thermostat. So instead of replacing it, he just took it out. And I don't know, he's the mechanic. This is all new to me. I just started getting my footing with bikes, and I jump into Jeeps, So, yes, I'm that crazy. Here he's cutting out some of the after we pulled the carpet and stuff out. And doing some grinding. Oh, that's me. That's me in there. Yeah. So we pulled all the carpet out, pulled the back seat out, and we were revealed quite a bit of rust. There's the old carpet. Took all the plastic paneling out. The headliner, everything. So here's a good shot of like all the rust before and after being grinded and cut. Obviously I didn't do a perfect job, and I know rust can come back. It'll probably continue its journey of eating away at things, but for now, I mean, you'll see it should be okay. I didn't want to, like, obviously I'm sinking some money into this, but not a professional sized amount of money. I mean, this is a backyard project. This is a toy that's meant to go out and have fun in and occasionally be seen. I plan on making a tribute out of this. So here's another shot, beginning and then after. Some with the primer, some before the primer was put on. There's a good shot of the primer. Yeah, there was a huge spot there that was just completely rusted out. So a lot of the other holes I had done some repair work on after, you know, cutting out the rust. That one I believe we'll see later. I just basically took a piece of sheet metal and folded it over it just to cover it up some. We changed out the battery terminals because it was having some connection issues. There's me taking a break when I was working on it. Okay, so remember when I said that it appeared to have a snorkel installed? Well, the snorkel was installed. However, there was no air filter, air box, anything. So it was pretty much just sucking all the dirt and bugs and everything from the air into the engine, which obviously is not a good thing. So found this handy dandy little cylinder type filter that I was able to connect to the, you know, put it in between and connect it to the snorkel. And then ran it up underneath the inside the wheel well and connected to the snorkel right there. Alright, so now I have put down the Rhino line, which actually I used Raptor liner, and I used the spray bottle in a can. And if you wait about 10 minutes and then use spray paint, you can actually use paint any color. So I decided to go with purple, and then I also ran the purple up some along the sides there where the panels used to be. There's another shot of that. And another angle, and you can see there, remember that big hole? I cut a piece of sheet metal and folded it over and tacked it down and everything, and it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it does the job. I installed some new mirrors, which I've grown to hate, so I'll be replacing those again. I just really can't see a whole lot, especially out of the passenger side, so I'm going to get some different mirrors. I thought these would give me the clearance I needed to be able to see, but because the old ones really didn't. I don't know how they ever, you know, worked great for anybody. More pictures of the mirror. Okay, so here's where I decided to chop it. So my little meme here, I can't afford a gladiator, so my solution is let the chopping begin. And my husband was making a joke how it looked like a scrambler now. So anyway, so went ahead and chopped it, so now it looks like a little pickup truck, and you can see the roof on the ground there. And also I had already taken the hatchback off. And then I was like, oh wait, I need to get a picture. So we'll continue with the transformation. There's a shot from far away. Here's a shot from behind. And that's the old license plate, so I don't care about it being seen. A couple more shots. I was showing people, I mean, obviously I'm going through my Facebook because it's the easiest way to do this. That's before I made the chop, after I got the windows out on the sides there and the hatch off, but I hadn't made the chop yet. There's all the windows and the hatch. I don't know why these are coming out of order. I was hoping they would be in order. I apologize for that. So, here we are after the chop. I relocated the tail light wires. And then I, reinstalled the tail lights. So, that way it could not be an issue. I didn't want wires hanging out anywhere. Because they actually ran up and above or something. I don't know. Y'all are probably laughing at me. I really didn't know what I was doing. So here, decisions were made to take the old hatch. So I took the window out of the hatch, and then I chopped it. Yeah, here it's showing what it looked like before, and I made a tailgate out of it. Because I was looking, and I guess Comanche tailgates in the same year range can fit. But obviously I'm trying to reuse whatever, I can. So, and I got these handy dandy, what is it? I think they're for YJs, for the hoods. So let me back up here. I kept the little latch from the tailgate, so the little push button that you push down there to lift the tailgate. So that still hooks in, but then you have the latches to actually hold it all in place so it doesn't fall off. And there's the other side. Alright, so obviously after chopping I had some spots I needed to fill in. Now this is on the back near where the tailgate is. I was attempting to level it out and make it look, a little more professional. In the long run, I don't think I did that great of a job, but at least I don't have to worry about, like water going down in there and it being open or sharp and cutting your hand on it. I'm sure one of these days I'll find somebody who can weld and maybe do a nice little cap to it or something. I don't know, but this is for now. There's the other side. And my little umbrella for shade. So here I started putting on some primer on the exterior. And basically on what is now the bed of the truck. And there's all primed out. And I had ordered some new tires. Now, these are Iron Man tires. I did have to go a little bit skinnier than I wanted simply because of the price jump. And also these are temporary until, I'm going to run these pretty much for a couple years probably, because this is not my daily driver. So at which point I will get, right now there's 17-inch rims on there. I'm going to replace with 15-inch rims. And that way I can go with a much bigger tire itself. Fatter, bigger, taller, without having to add more lift to the Jeep. So they're not installed yet, but that was just the day they arrived and I was really excited about it. Here's the other side primed. The roof, I basically took some of that rubber sealant because there was rusted spots and stuff that had leaked previously. So I just went over it with some of the rubber sealant spray paint. And it does harden similar to Rhino Liner, but it is not supposedly indestructible like Rhino liner. But it does the job. It's all I needed. I mean, it's chopped anyway. Just some nice little trim that I threw on there. Threw on some different little points to be able to ratchet things down if need be. Yeah, apparently this is what it looks like all primed out. And there I was working on the tailgate some. I put the plastic piece back on there. I painted it black first and everything. So we got the purple on the inside and then the black piece. And then I don't think it shows here. Let me jumping ahead. Ooh, you got a sneak peek. The back side of it is black, but I am still working on that. I think I'm going to put some black diamond plate on the back of it, but we shall see. So there is one side getting painted. Now this is like a sea breeze, but it's like a light version of teal, almost a mint, I guess. Thinking back, like I wish I had actually done a base coat of maybe like a darker green to kind of make it a little bit darker and bring out some more of the green tints to it. And yes, I had a lot of overspray. I tried to tape off and cover things, but don't worry. I fixed it in the long run. There's me just playing with ideas of splitting it on the tailgate. I ended up changing that later. There's the new fenders. And let me tell you, I absolutely love these fenders. Well, I got the front one on. I did it in sections. So like when I got one side painted, then I put the fenders on. And there's with both fenders. So, yeah, this one, I mean, I had to cut, it was already cut, but I had to cut it a little bit more to be able to do the rear fenders for them to fit right. That's my main complaint with these style fenders, because you do have to chop a little bit more, and it actually ends up cutting the seal that keeps water and stuff out from the inside. So then I had to go back in, where the panels used to be, and spray some foam to seal that up, so that when I'm playing I don't get like mud and water stuck in there, because I cleaned out a lot of mud and water that was already stuck up in the one side on this side. So I decided to go two-faced, went with purple on this side. And if you haven't figured it out yet, eventually you will, on what my theme is and what the tribute is for. But I'll leave that a secret. If you figure it out, great. But you'll find out in the end when I'm done with this. But so I went purple on this side, same purple I used on the inside of the bed. And then of course, just like the other side, I ran black along the bottom where it was previously rhino lined. Reinstalled my snorkel and installed the front fender. And it just like the further along I got, the more and more I have fallen in love with this. So I did the hood black. Eventually I will be replacing the hood, because it does drive me nuts that the louvers are backwards, and also because I want to paint a specific tribute on the hood, and or do basically a hood wrap tribute with the tribute on it, but we shall see. Okay, so the master cylinder, I had a lot of brake issues. So that was the old master cylinder. And I took it out, and this is just me showing that, hey, I did it all by myself. I've already replaced the master cylinder. This is after installing it. Which I found out later I needed to bleed the brakes in a specific order, so my husband helped me with that. So here's the day that I got to go ahead and get my new shoes put on. And there it is in the shop. At that point I had the shoes put on, but it was getting the alignment done. And there's after it's all done with the shiny new shoes. I still have the same 17-inch rims, but the new tires are on. And you would think that, you know, these mud tires would be really noisy, but I guess they're just small enough. Honestly, the tires don't make any noise, even with the back being chopped off. The noise I hear is actually from my exhaust, because it has a straight, like, glass pipe. Got it. Oh, you guys are probably laughing at me like right now. But yeah, it's basically a straight pipe. I'm going to be replacing that with a muffler just because it is really annoying. Me showing off some more pics of the shoes. While I was waiting for the shoes to be installed, I marched my happy butt over to Harbor Freight and picked me up some winch stuff, including a new winch rope to go to replace the steel cable, because it already had some kinks in it, even though it was supposedly brand new. And I'm paranoid that I'm gonna end up being decapitated and it snap one day. So my buddies in the Jeep group told me to go the rope way. That is much safer. You could get hurt if it snaps, but less likely to be decapitated or, you know, lose a limb or whatever. So there's all my shopping fun. A new LED color light bar got installed. Now, it wasn't wired up this day. The wiring happens later. Alright, so here I pull out the passenger seat and pull out the carpet and find a lot of sand and dirt and rust. Now, I don't have the money right now to completely replace the flooring there. So I just did some backyard chop shop work on that with some more, you know, just covered it up and sealed it off so it wouldn't re-rust after grinding it. This is the center console, which I decided to paint with the theme. Just some pictures of that. The same teal and purple. There, everything's primed, everything's grinded, the best I could do. But yeah, the passenger side was pretty bad. Oh, and we got the new fans in, so we installed the new fans. And then there's after the flooring is done, and then I also sprayed it with that same rubber spray that I used for the roof. And then I climbed underneath also and sprayed some like gasket sealer and stuff around where I had ground off all the rust so that it wouldn't re-rust. Here's the driver's side. It wasn't as bad, thankfully, but it still had some issues. This is before it all got cleaned up too. Oh, yeah, my flag holders. Let me see if I can zoom in. Right there. Went ahead and installed them. And then also got my sunshade in the back. And there's my light working. Now it is wired up, but it is kind of like temporary right now. Because we're still rewiring a bunch of stuff. So it's not, the switch isn't mounted or anything. But yeah, so here we are. And this is my baby as of yesterday. So, and it is far from done. But I got my roof rack for my tire and everything. I got some more stuff to do, but I need to run a load of trash to the dump of, you know, Jeep parts and metal that got cut off. So I'm gonna wait, but I have like a toolbox and stuff that I'm gonna be installing. But you are all caught up now on the last, you know, several months of why I have not been working on Norman. And I'm sorry if I bored you to death, but hopefully you got a laugh out of my lack of knowledge and, you know, the thingy there and that thingy there descriptions. But so there we are. Thank you guys, and thank you for following my channel, and like, share, comment. I love seeing the comments. I'm sorry I didn't keep up with them for a while. I really did not know that so many people were watching. So, but now I know, so I'm going to do a better job of replying and giving you responses and posting more videos. So thank you for joining Shuttersplaining, and I'll see you next time.